Hello, my name is LauraLynn. Welcome to the Fire Mountain Gems video studio, and we are getting together today to make these beautiful dangle earrings with amethyst and our sunstones, and I have to show you these. We sell them in various different shapes and sizes. So we have rounds and teardrops and rectangles and things, but it's a stone that you have to really see to appreciate. And as you can see this here, it has a beautiful flash to it as I turn it there. There's minerals in it, and that's what causes the flash. And this is actual Oregon's official gemstone. So if you want to follow along to make these earrings with me, we have a full list of materials listed at the bottom here, including the instructions. And if you enjoy the project, please take a moment to like or share the video and then subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell so you don't miss our next video. So let's get started. So for this project, you will be needing some ear wires, some small beads, jump rings, 2 different shapes of sunstones, 2 different sizes of rondelle amethyst, some ball pins, and some chain. And this particular project, I did use rose gold, but you can use any type of metal that you want. Copper would look really good with this too. As you can see here, these are all the pieces that I will be using and how it's laid out for the 2 earrings. Okay, let's get started. One of the first ones is just adding my amethyst, and in between each amethyst, I am putting a small rose gold bead. I am using rose gold for this project, but you don't have to. If you like, you can use copper. I think copper would look really pretty, or even gold or silver if you want to, depending what your precious metal preference is. Right now, I'm just putting the amethyst, the large amethyst rondelles, and the little tiny beads on. If you notice, there's 3 different types of dangle, so now I'm going to make the other dangle, which is just the sunstones by themselves. My idea when I made this is that little ball pin looks like one of these balls, so that counts as my first one. And then I put on one of my square sunstones, another one of the rose gold beads, and another sunstone square. I do need to let you know, and a bead, that these gemstones can sometimes have a tiny hole. So you're going to want to make sure you have a reamer with you. We have various types here at Fire Mountain Gems, just a manual one where you can just go ahead and manually put your reamer in the bead and just slowly turn it back and forth. But we also have this battery operated one, which I think is amazing. And I just the same thing, just hold it there and then push on the button. That's my second one, 3 of those. And now I'm doing my last dangle here. And that one I combined the amethyst and the sunstone together. And I'm not using any small beads on here because my little tiny amethysts are taking the place of the tiny beads. I'm just alternating between a round rondelle of sunstone and a small rondelle of amethyst. Just alternating it. 4 sunstones and 3 amethysts. Okay. Now that I've got all of the dangles ready to go, then I'm going to start my wrapped loops. So the first thing is, of course, get your beads on, and then you push your pliers all the way as far down as you can go. You're going to take the ball pin and you're going to push it away from you. Then you're going to turn your pliers about 45 degrees, and then you're going to take that ball pin wire and you're going to push it around the pliers towards you. Move your pliers back to the original position and continue wrapping that wire all the way around to where you can see that it is wrapped around the tip of it all the way and it's pointing away from you. Once you get to that point, I will remove the round nose and grab it with my chain nose, and that is just to hold the loop I just made in place. And then I grab my needle nose and you're going to pull it towards you and wrap around as you're going. You want to pull as tightly as you can so that that wire wraps around itself nice and tight. And I go at least 3 times every time I do it. So what you do next, if you're going to cut it, is to bend away from where you just looped it. And that's going to give you a gap big enough that you can get your clippers in there. So then I'm going to get my nippers right up flush against the wraps I just did. Of course, hold the wire that you're about to clip so it doesn't go bouncing and pop someone's eyes out. Once I've done that, that is down in there nice and snug. So then I can now straighten this out. And then I take these and what I'm going to do is press down on it and kind of turn it, keep turning it, and that'll make it so that piece that I just cut off gets tucked in and it's not sticking out where it's going to poke you or something. Okay, so once there's that one done, I'm going to do these other ones. And you're just going to press it down as far as you can, press away from you, turn, wrap it towards you, turn, continue wrapping away. Then going to hold and wrap around. And just as you're wrapping, get it nice and tight so that it fits in there. Okay, now let's do the next one. Away, turn, wrap towards you, turn back, wrap away. Wrap loops, if I'm using 24 gauge head pins, and I definitely like to use a wrap loop, as 24 gauge is very soft, and so that gives you a little extra security that it's not just going to fall off. Okay, so I'm done. I'm going to pull it away so I can cut the little excess off. Okay, so we're almost done with these dangles, and then we can start putting the earring together. So now that I have all my dangles ready, all I need to do is attach them to the chain and then to the ear wire. I did use a 2-inch chain, and so for the dangle what I do is I like to hook one on each end, and then I will hook one in the middle there before I attach it to the ear wire. So for jump rings, I like to put the chain on first, because that way I know it's where I want it to be, and then I put on the dangle. And then to close it, it's the same motion, well, the opposite. The second one. Now I'm going to go on the opposite end. And these are tiny jump rings, so always make sure that you're holding your pliers snugly so you don't drop them. And then you're going to pull back and forth until you get that nice and snug to each other. There we go. Now, I have 3 jump rings attached to this dangle, so I'm going to attach them first before I go attaching them to the chain. So I want to open one. And then I'm going to take a closed one and put it on. Oops. So I have the closed jump ring. And then the drop. To close it, always your motion one away, one towards you. And that wiggling you saw there is I wanted to make sure the jump ring was closed nice and snug. So now this is my 3rd jump ring, which is also going to go onto the chain. So I'm going to open it first. And then I like to have it kind of offset, so I know that I happen to put it in 8 links in. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that link. There we go. So now I got the chain on, and then I'm going to put the last dangle on. Now some people would attach the ear wire to this, but I want it to be on the opposite of that link, so I'm not attaching it here. I'm going to attach it to the same link but to the opposite, and it'll make sense here in a second. Let me close this and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. Get that back in there. And then let's put the ear wire on. Now we're going to close it. So now we have completed it, and here I will show our finished project with its additional earring. And this is the amethyst and sunstone dangling earrings. Thank you for joining us. My name again is LauraLynn, and I hope you have a wonderful day.